So here's the project for today. We're going to be putting a shower door in here. And this curtain works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But the biggest challenge is, as you can see, this is black. And when you close the curtain, you're literally sitting in a dark, shadowy cube while you're taking a shower. It's not like you're reading in there, but it'd be nice to have a little bit more light working its way through. So that's the project for today. Hey, so here's the door we're going to be installing today. It's from HOROW, and they provided this door, so I'd like to thank them for that, and they are the sponsor of today's video. It's easier to pay an invoice than it is to transfer money. The accounting process of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I have to... So this door is designed to be installed in an opening between 58 and 60 inches. Fortunately for me, it is 59 inches wide. The door is 76 inches tall, and I have, I think, about 84 inches all the way up. So I've got plenty of sidewall. And then the frame has up to 6 millimeters of variance out of plumb. I've measured this wall, and I am almost perfectly plumb. And on this wall, I am perfectly plumb. And then the base needs to be level. The bottom rail is actually sloped so that it drains towards the shower so water doesn't collect in the track. And I am just a hair high that way, and I'll be able to adjust for that. Okay. So I have the bottom here, and like I said earlier, this is sloped, so the water goes this way. Manufacturer's instructions say cut a ½ inch off, in my case I had to cut a ½ inch off each end for my width. And then you have to do it from both ends so that this remains centered. I've gone ahead and I've marked center here, and then their suggestion is 3/8 to 5/16 off the front lip, and I've done that. So now I'm going to flip it over and put a healthy bead of silicone. In my case, I'm using DAP Ultra Clear, but you can use whatever you want that meets the criteria. So we're going to put a dab down here. Make sure the end is sealed. And then 2 healthy beads. The key here is a continuous bead, so if any water gets underneath, it can't flow through. There we go. So I put the side rails up. There's definitely a left and a right side because of the edge on the front. So what they want you to do is mark every other hole. So left hole, right hole, left hole, right hole. And this has been plumbed. I have to use blue tape here because I can't see my marks on the black tile, and it's keeping it plumb. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that, and then we're going to drill those holes and mount those to the wall. All right, so I have the side rail here. I'm just going to screw this in loosely with all the screws, and then I'm going to plumb it up and tighten everything down. So I just installed the door guide. The key here is that it's sloped so that you put it in here opposite of this slope, and so it's level. In hindsight, because I'm drilling through tile, it would have been nice to know, so I could have pre-drilled those holes before I put this base plate in, but I was able to get in there and drill and put some anchors in just like I did on the side rails, and then siliconed it in. Manufacturer says if you can't get screws in there, you can just silicone it in. So the next step for me is to go outside and grab the doors, or actually I'll probably bring the doors in here and set them up with all of the rollers and stuff, because you have to put them inside the shower before you put the top rail on. And lucky for me, my bathroom is laid out exactly like the drawing. So we're going to have the main door to the right, and then the passive door to the left. So here's the doors. They are tempered glass with a nano coating that prevents spotting and streaking and scaling, so water just beads up and rolls off them. They have a metal frame, and I'll show you that in a second. So if anybody knows anything about tempered glass, if you hit the edge, the glass could break. So because these have a metal frame around them, that prevents that from happening. So that's an added safety measure, especially if you have small children in the house who are going to be slamming or opening and closing those doors and stuff. And there's some other things we'll talk about in a second too. So we're going to move these inside, and they are heavy. So I'm keeping the plastic and protective coatings and such on these doors because they're actually leaning on each other and against the tile. I don't want any chance that these are going to break right now. So far, the most time-consuming thing has been putting these rollers on, because the doors have to be facing a certain way so that they can be lifted into place. And there's different rollers. This one is installed differently than this one, and then this one is installed differently than that one. The other thing is, these doors are heavy, okay? The box says 2-man lift, and it means it. Please do not try to carry these doors by yourself. Get a friend to help you. So the upper rail is in, and you just screw the little brackets on loosely. And then when you snap it on, you just screw the bottoms of them in there. Now I had to cut this one to length, and the instructions say just cut off one end. Well, there would have been no holes on this end for that bracket. So I pre-drilled some holes up on top so that the screws would have something to screw into. It was not in the instructions, but I did it anyways. And if it is, I just didn't see it. So we are at the point where we're about to hang some doors. Oh my God! This one on, nope.
Ooh. I don't think that one's on still.
I don't think this one's on yet, Oh, there it is. Ooh.
Is that glide good?
I'm not on the thing now. So we've got both panels in. We installed the rubber magnetic strips. Yes, these are magnetic. So when the door closes, they suck onto the metal trim right here and seal it. And they're super easily to remove, so you can keep them nice and clean behind them, under them and stuff. So that's pretty awesome. And then also we put, here we get a light in there. All right, that little gray plastic thing is a bumper that goes on top of the glass. It's kind of hard to see, but it keeps the glass from being lifted up and coming out. So that's a safety measure. And then over here, you can kind of see it, I think. Yeah, right. Let's see if we can get to focus. So this is an adjustment. There it is. See how it's kind of oblong, and you turn that clockwise or counterclockwise, and that helps you plumb the doors up and down. We are done. I have silicone the inside and the outside, and make sure you follow the manufacturer's instruction for the silicone before you start using the shower to make sure it has a chance to cure. In my case, it's less than 24 hours.
Take all the nutrients out of the peel. you can see there's like almost nothing left. And so it absorbed all the nutrition of the yolk.
Well, that's a wrap on this shower door install. I'd like to thank HOROW for providing this door to us free of charge and sponsoring this video. I love the way it looks. The matte black finish highlights the tile, the thin frame. It's really great and the light just floods into the shower. No more dark showers for us. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about this video, put those down below. Speaking of comments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do, hit the bell for notifications. If I've done anything in this video or any of my other videos that you found helpful, consider becoming a channel member, becoming one of my Patreons, or giving me a super thanks. I've got some videos over here you may be interested in. The subscribe button's right down here. Thanks for watching. Dad it yourself.